Hello students, let's see what we are going to experience in this third episode of this electrostatics subject. Now we are going to see about the superposition principle. I know you all have your physics books in your hand, so take this page, superposition principle. What do you mean by this superposition principle, and let me tell why the superposition principle has been introduced. Actually, Coulomb's law explains the interaction between the 2 point charges, but if there are more than 2 charges, okay, if there are more than 2 charges, if it's some for some systems, if you have n number of charges like q1, q2, q3 and till qn, the forces of one charge due to the other charges need to be calculated. For that, the superposition principle has been introduced. Superposition principle explains the interaction between the multiple charges. Okay, so according to this, the superposition principle explains as the total force acting on a given charge is equal to the vector sum of forces exerted on it by all other charges. Now let us consider a system of n number of charges, that means charges with uncountable, namely q1, q2, q3 till qn. The force on q1 is applied by the charge q2. So we get F12. Here the 1 and 2 is not 12. Okay, it's mentioned because of the charge 1 and the charge 2, q1, q2. As per the Coulomb's law, we can substitute F12 vector is equal to K, which is a proportionality constant, into q1, q2 divided by R21 square. That means the charge q2 comes from here for this distance, then R cap 21. Here R21 is the unit vector from q2 to q1, and along the line joining the two charges and is the distance between the charges q1 and q2. R21 is the distance between the charges q1 and q2. Now the force q1 exerted by the charge q3 is, let's see what's the force exerted by the charge q1. F13, as I told you earlier, F13 is not 13, it is 13 because of the charge q1 exerted by the charge q3. So which is equal to k into q1 q3 divided by R31 square or R31 cap. By continuing this, like q1 exerted by the charge q2 and q3 exerted by the charge q21 or q2 or q4 or till qn, we will get the value, the force at the total force acting on the charge q1 due to all other charges is given by F1 total is equal to F12 plus F13 plus F14 plus dash 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 or till F1n. So the total value can be calculated or summarized as F1 total is equal to, we take the common k from the bracket. Now we put q1 q2 divided by R21 square into R21 cap plus Q1 Q3 divided by R31 square into R31 cap plus Q1 Q4 divided by R41 square into R41 cap plus dash 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 till Q1 Q2 divided by R N1 square. I think you all know why I explain the superposition principle very largely. Now let's move to the electric field. What do you mean by this electric field? Consider a point charge kept at a point in space. Okay, let this be one point charge and this be another point charge. If another point charge is placed, this point charge is placed at a some distance from the first point charge, it experiences either an attractive force or a repulsive force like this. Okay, either an attractive force or a repulsive force from the first point charge. It experiences either the attractive or repulsive. This is called the action at distance. A region around a charged particle or object within which a force will be exerted on other charged particles or object is called electric field. So the region is this. This is the region between the two charges, and here this is the region between the two charges. Actually, Michael Faraday introduced the concept of field. Okay, you may come across this field in some other topics also. According to this Michael Faraday, every charge in the universe creates an electric field in the surrounding space. Like our students, they create some friends along with them. The charge also creates some electric field around them. And if another charge is brought into the field, that means if a new student is come to the enters the class, it will interact with the the new students. Okay, you will interact with the new student. Some of you like the new students, and some of you hesitate to speak with the new students. Like that, some of you attracted by the new student, and some of you are repelled by the new students. Likewise, according to Faraday, every charge in the universe creates an electric field in the surrounding space, and if another charge is brought into its field, it will interact with the electric field at that point and will experience a force. The electrostatic force experienced by the charge Q0. Here Q0 is the charge from the outer space. That means the new charge enter into the electric field space, which is due to the Q is given by the Coulomb's law. The electric field is a vector quantity and its SI unit is Newton per Coulomb. Okay, Newton per Coulomb. So we put from the Coulomb's law, F is equal to K into Q into Q0. Here Q is the initial charge and Q0 is the new charge from the space, and which are divided by the R square. That means the distance between the Q and Q0 into R cap. So now we can write the value of K here. As you know, K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. F vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q into Q0 divided by R square into R cap. Or E is equal to F by Q0. So, which is K into Q by R square into R cap, or 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square into R cap. This E stands for electric field. This E is for electric field. Therefore, electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R square into R cap. Let us see some of the important aspects of the electric field. First point, if the charge Q is positive, then the electric field points away from the source charge, and if Q is negative, the electric field points towards the source charge Q. Okay, see the difference. If it is positive, the electric field points away from the source, and if it is negative, the electric field points towards the source charge. Second point, if the electric field at a point P is E, that means electric field is E, then the force experienced by the test charge Q naught, which is from the outer space, will be placed at the point P, that means from a distance. Therefore, we know F is equal to Q naught into E, electric field. The equation is E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R into R cap, which implies that electric field is independent of the test charge Q naught, and it depends only on the source charge Q. To recap your knowledge, let me give another example. Here, Q naught is the new student for your class, and Q is the old students in the class. Okay. Now, I think you can easily understand what's the difference between the Q and Q naught. Since the electric field is a vector quantity, because it have magnitude and direction, at every point in space, this field has unique direction. Fifth point, from the equation E vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R into R cap, we can infer that means understand that as the distance increases, the electric field decreases in magnitude. That we all know. In the definition of electric field, the test charge Q naught is taken sufficiently small so that bringing this test charge will not move the source charge. Sometimes if the new student in our class will disturb, if he disturbs the old students, then everything will be collapsed. That's why we receive the new students with so many conditions. Seventh one, the expression E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R into R cap is valid only for point charges. For continuous and finite cell charge distribution, interaction techniques must be used here. The last point, there are two kinds of electric field. One is uniform, that means a constant electric field, and another one is non-uniform electric field.